Hey y'all, what it is, bitch. This is a case of bitch, I don't know what the fuck to do. I don't know what the fuck to do, but I'm leaning towards what I'm thinking about doing, which is telling him before he tells me, because I feel like it's coming. I feel like the rejection is coming, and I'm leaning more towards telling him, it's okay. Thank you for taking me to my favorite restaurant and everything, but I didn't feel the vibes. I didn't feel the chemistry like I thought I was supposed to feel. So let me tell you guys a little synopsis of this boring ass date, y'all. This date was pretty fucking boring. Like, oh my god. Like, okay, so let's start with this. He's my age. Well, he's a year older than me. He will be 30 this coming August. I'll be 29 this coming July. So he's only a year older than me. He grew up in the same area as me. He only lives like 20 minutes away from me. So that's pretty fucking convenient. He can't use the driving excuse like that other asshole did. So he can't use that excuse and the distance being an excuse. So instead of basically, like, how most guys act, like, on the first day, oh my god, you're so hot, oh my god, you're prettier in person, oh, I love your dress, oh, you look good in that dress, blah blah blah. You know how most guys dote about how hot you look? He kind of just said, oh, I like your eye makeup is really hot, really hot. I mean, what did you do to get your eye makeup like that? Like, I'm like, huh? And I'm like, well, I put the pink and the red and the white sparkly stuff, and I kind of blended it together. That's what made it, And then he's just kind of staring at the ceiling. We get to the restaurant. We went to the Melting Pot, which is my favorite fine fondue place. And I like it because it's interactive. You get to kind of cook your own food and talk. But girl, I had to beg him to fucking talking. Okay, like, he just kept looking up in the sky, twiddling his thumb, and I'm like, why aren't you talking? Like, do you not really like me? Like, is like the only thing you asked me so far is my makeup tips. And by the way, on the way to the fucking date, y'all, all he kept asking me was, where did you go to school at? And I told him where I went to school at, high school wise, and then college wise, I told him I didn't finish. Maybe that's what turned him off, because he was a big nerd. And I mean big nerd. This motherfucker was at least 240 pounds and 6'2", and he had glasses, and he just looked like a dude you would see at fucking what's that fucking GameStop. He looked like a motherfucker you would find at GameStop, okay? And he even admitted, I'm a big gamer, and I love gaming when I'm off work. I'm a big gamer. He's an engineer, so that's to be expected. He's like, I'm really analytical. I like gaming, and that's my favorite thing. Where'd you go to school? And I'm like, I told him where I went to school at, and he's like, oh, okay. Like, he wasn't impressed. And he even wasn't more impressed after I told him I didn't finish college. And I think that's where the date went downhill, because like when we were at the actual restaurant, the Melting Pot, he was more excited to talk to the fucking gay waiter. Okay, the waiter was admittedly gay. He told me straight up, hey, is this y'all's first date? Where'd y'all meet at? We're like, oh, Hinge. He's like, oh, I met my boyfriend on Grindr. That tea was more interesting than this fucking dude, okay? Like I said, I definitely did not go by what I normally would go by as far as looks for a reason. I thought, okay, maybe if I just don't focus on looks and focus on a guy with a career and a guy with some smarts, that I would go somewhere with this, because he's an engineer, he's smart. He claimed he wanted marriage, and he even mentioned that his ex was getting married. And I'm like, how do you know that? Did you like, I mean, I'm like, how do you know that? Did she like, are you following her on Instagram or some shit? He's like, oh, well, she called me like back in November to tell me. I'm like, okay, cool. He's like, yeah. I'm like, so are you over her? He's like, yeah, I just don't want to, I don't want to deal with anybody who's married, who's getting married. Nope. I'm like, so how long have you been single? He's like, 4 years. I'm like, 4 years. Anyway, so like the whole date, y'all, literally, I'm just gonna sum it up, because it was bits and pieces of something, but it was like the whole date was just, it could have been an email, is my point. I mean, if it wasn't for the fondue, I would have been like probably on here crying. Okay. He asked me about what my parents did for a living. He was more excited about my mom, what she used to do for a living and where she used to work, than what I told him about what I used to do for work and where I went to school. He was like, oh my God, that's impressive. She's so smart. Wow. Oh my God. Like, do you want to fuck my mom? You want my mama's number, bitch? The fuck? Talking about some, oh my God, that's impressive about my mom. Now I'm talking about my dad. He's like, oh my God, he's smart too. Oh, so impressive. You come from a very smart family. Okay, so I'm not smart, I guess. Because he didn't tell me I was smart. He told me I came from a very smart family. And then he started asking me about my brother and his girlfriend. And I'm like, in my brain, I'm thinking, what the fuck does that got to do with me? But okay, because my brother does not live here. And my brother, I mean, we don't talk that much. And we're not that close, to be honest. And I'm like, he does this and that. He's like, oh, he's smart too. Oh my God. Like, huh? Girl, like it was. And then he started talking about his job so much. Oh yeah, I do this and that at work in my engineering, and I do all these codings, and I wish I was a doctor because doctors are more respected. Oh my God, I'd be making so much more money if I was a doctor. I'd be using my brain for good use. I was always the biggest nerd in high school, and I was the biggest nerd in college, and I'd be using my brain for good use. Oh my God. And it's just like, bruh, like he got excited talking about education. Like it's like those people who get turned on by those, what are those people called? I don't know. Those demisexuals, pansexuals. They're turned on by intellect, but they're not turned on by actually looking at a hot girl in front of them. They're just like, oh my God, this math problem, that math problem. Like it was like he was doing math problems in his brain as he was talking to me, bitch. It was irritating the fuck out of me. Like, I have no problems with a smart guy, okay? Before I get comments saying, oh, you want somebody who's stupid? You want someone who just talks about your ass and your titties? And no, I don't. I want someone with range. I want someone not only that's smart, I want someone who is empathetic and shows that they have a compassionate heart and that they can have like emotional intelligence, not just brainiac intelligence, okay? I want that, not just, look, I'm smart. Oh my God, I went to this school. I do this for work. Look at me, look at me, look at me. Oh my God, I'm so smart. Look at me, look at my big brain and my gaming skills. Like, anyway, he did ask me if you were to get married, where would you get married? I'm like, at a beach, anywhere at a beach at this point, any beach. I was trying to like light up the mood because, girl, like it felt like an interview. It felt like I was out on a date with my coworker that just decided he wanted to treat me on a fancy dinner. Like, that's really what it felt like. It was so weird. Like, I said, yeah, at this point, I just want to go get married at a beach. I mean, that'd be great. He said, well, I feel the same way as you do. We agree on that. Yeah. I would love to go, go to a beach and just get married. I don't need all that big fancy shit. I don't need to go to a big mansion wedding or anything like that. I don't know if he was just thinking about how his ex was getting married or something. I don't know. Girl, it was weird. By the time the day was ending, he was saying, you know how sometimes via text guys say stuff that are different than like in real life. Because on the text, he was saying, oh, I already know I'm going to like you. I'm already planning a date for Sunday. So I asked him again, I'm like, so are you still planning a date for Sunday? And he says, I need to sleep on it. What? Bitch, what? Anytime a man's ever told me something of that nature, I need to think about it. I need to look at my schedule. They've ghosted me or they've sent me a rejection letter. So now I'm in the fucking zone of, I feel like I'm sitting for a rejection letter for a job that I applied for that I was overqualified for because I'm not a big brainiac that went to school for like 8 years. And yeah. So yeah, he said he has to sleep on it, and he told me to send him 3 places I'd like to go, and we'll pick what place we'd like to go if he does decide he wants to see me again. And I did send him 3 places I'd like to go last night when I was out with him, but I'm not banking on that he's gonna want to take me anywhere because he probably thinks I'm fucking stupid. This is why, y'all, I like dating older men, because older men care more about femininity. They care more about your looks. They care more about how hot you are. They're more zoned in on the fact that they're on a date with a hot young thing. Okay, let's just keep it a buck. Because when you're on a date with a guy who's your age, close to your age, and you're not as academically advanced as him, they're gonna totally judge you more. This is why I used to mostly date older dudes, because they don't care about all that extra shit. They don't. They probably had smart brainiac chicks in their life, and they're probably bored of that. Okay, that probably would bore the shit out of them. Okay, I feel like if the roles were reversed, he would flat out ghosted me. Girl, he was big. Okay, he was like I said, 240 pounds. He even admitted how much he weighed because he had like he looked pregnant, okay? He looked like how I used to look when I used to drink beer all the time. He looked like he had a huge beer gut, even though he claimed he didn't drink. Y'all, like, and he was a big dude. I'm just being quite honest. I've lost quite a bit of weight. I'm in the 160s now. I used to be 130.
I used to be 230. I used to be 230
okay, I've lost
pounds.
quite a bit of weight. I'm getting close to my goal weight, and he's over here looking like 240 pounds to bounce that ass. And I'm just like, girl, maybe I should just send the text like, look, it was nice going out with you. Thank you for taking me to my melting pot, my favorite place. But I don't know if we had chemistry. I don't fucking know, y'all. Like I said, the only thing I'd probably want to keep dating him for is the fact that I know he'll take me to nice places, because he seems like that type of dude that would treat you. But if you're gonna make this all about you being smarter than me, bitch, you're mistaken. And plus, before I get comments about, oh, this is what's the problem with app dating because you're digging in the trash. Okay, I had somebody, one of my other subscribers, commented on one of my videos that I made about online dating, saying that she was talking to a dude that she met in real life, that, guess what, a few weeks later she found on an app. So everybody's on apps, honey. Get used to it. It's 2023. Let's not regress back to 20 years ago where online dating is scary.